We've spoken about the atmosphere in this place. There's a new initiative to try and get the stand behind you a bit more noisy, shall we say?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing up the river end, and I think it's about fan engagement, fan activation. What more can we do as a club to support? And Archant have been brilliant. They've financially supported this venture. We've had so much support from sponsors as well. I mean, Gary Powers and Regency are almost sort of supporting the fact that we're trying to do this with this stand. Woodford's with the Barclay and what they're doing for us. There's a real sense of fans, players, staff on and off the pitch, and more importantly, partners. From a sponsorship perspective, all getting behind the board and creating this really great level of momentum that gives us a hell of a chance. So long may that continue.
The players have obviously been very vocal about how much the support has improved their performances, marginal gains and all that we hear a lot of. I suppose the aim is to replicate the noise made at the Barclay end down here. Yeah,
of course, but equally in the South Stand, in the City Stand as well. Any kind of atmosphere increase that we're currently getting will only benefit this football club. We believe that we've got momentum, so why stop now? Some great work has been done, but let's continue that great work over the remaining games. And like I say, away from home phenomenal, but at home we've been very, very, very good and helped by the phenomenal atmosphere that we've been creating. So long may that continue, and this is just another step on that journey to try and make this a really vibrant atmosphere here at Carrow Road.
In terms of on the pitch, 7 important games left. How excited are you for those?
I'm really excited. I'm the one that has no pressure when it comes to that perspective. So it's Stuart and Daniel and the team. It's a joy to watch them this year, isn't it? They're playing great football. It's a joy to come to this stadium, and I'm blessed to have the job that I have and to be given the opportunities to think outside the box and look at different ways to bring this club to life, whilst also being responsible to manage the finances and the commercial side of the football club and the non-football side. So, no, from my perspective, yeah, it's a great place to be, and you know, let's continue, let's be focused, and let's give it until the end. So starting again on Saturday.
Yeah, it seems in the terrace and outside the terrace, the sort of key message is keep that expectation low and see what happens. But we'll see. 7 games, Ben. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Absolute pleasure. So today, speak of a new campaign that Archant are backing with AlongComeNorwich. Perhaps you can tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, there's a few elements to our campaign. We're launching a campaign, One City Strong. And this is just about 7 games left. Let's galvanise the support, not just of the 27,000 who come on a match day, but the thousands more people who follow Norwich City, love Norwich City and want Norwich City to get promoted. So we're asking those who don't come to the game to think about what they can do. So let's turn the city yellow and green, for instance. Let's make sure that when the players are on their way between Colney and Carrow Road, they see that the whole of the club, that the city is behind them. The second element of that is to look at what we can do inside the ground to help the players over the finish line, to help get those last few points that we need to hopefully secure promotion. So with each game we've got a little bit of a project lined up, and the game that we're talking about today is Reading next Wednesday, where we'll be launching Sing Up the River End. We know that sometimes the noise doesn't go round the ground. Sometimes you can hear the Barclay end and it sort of stops there, which is absolutely fine, and everyone's got a right to not sing if they don't want to. There's been some brilliant efforts in the Barclay end this season. I think that the guys involved in that at AlongComeNorwich and the Barclay end project should be really proud, because the Carrow Road is rocking, and we know that the players notice it. The players talk about it in interviews, they talk about how it makes a difference. So we just want to ask the guys at the River End to think about whether they could do the same. So could they just kind of sing a little bit more? Can we make sure that when the players are shooting towards the Barclay, it's a cauldron of noise, but when they're going the other way, it's the same as well? So there's a few things that we're doing alongside the club and alongside the fans group to kind of help galvanise that. So we'll be doing one of those mosaics, which we've seen at the club before, but they help get people in the mood. So we want people to turn up in the River End early for the game on Wednesday. There'll be a card on their seat, and then when the players come out, hold the card up and it will spell out a message to the players. Hopefully that will get people in the mood and they'll think about singing. But we're also infiltrating the River End. So there'll be 10 members of the fans group who will be in the River End, and there'll be 10 members of my team and they're nice and noisy, who will be there as well, and they'll be starting the chants. They'll be trying to see if we can get a bit more atmosphere, and obviously if that can spread to the rest of the ground, then that's great as well. Like I say, this isn't about criticising people. If they don't want to get involved, then obviously that's fine. But let's see if we can just get the atmosphere that little bit louder, get the decibels a bit higher, and really make the difference, so that we get that extra point, that extra bit of effort to help put us into the promotion places and keep us there.
I suppose that's what it's about, isn't it? Replicating what's been done at the Barclay end, but also trying to squeeze out as much as possible out of this place to help the players on, because as you said, they have spoken about how much it impacts them.
Yeah, and it has been brilliant this season. You compare everything to this time last season, the atmosphere just didn't exist. We all know that. Things were pretty flat. The only person who really had faith in that we might be in this position a year on was probably Daniel Farker, who's said, well, all the stats look good, we just needed to start scoring some goals. So the transformation on the pitch has been brilliant. The transformation off the pitch has been brilliant. I always compare, it feels like being in a continental ground at the minute. The stuff that goes on after the game with Daniel Farker whipping everyone into a frenzy. I love it. It's brilliant. You want to stay here for 10 minutes now after the game, instead of everyone sort of trying to rush off to beat the rest of the traffic. So that has made a real difference. But I do think that we can see the rest of the ground get involved a bit more as well. And so let's do it the right way. Let's just encourage people, if they can get stuck in, to sing a bit more and get behind the players.
For the newspaper, this must be an absolutely lovely time to follow Norwich City, mustn't it?
Oh, not half. It makes a real difference, Connor. As you know, everyone who works in my team, we're all, we all love the city. We love Norfolk, and I'd say probably 70% of us are Norwich City fans, and a large proportion of that, myself included, have got a season ticket. So we get the pleasure of following the happenings in this county, whether they're good, bad or indifferent. So when things are going well, when everyone's absolutely joyous coming away from Carrow Road, we get to write about it. We get to enjoy that moment even more than fans do, as fans and as people covering the club. So I'm loving it at the minute. I'm loving it as a fan. I'm loving it as an editor. I love putting Norwich City on the front page, as anyone who knows me knows. So long may it continue, not just in the Championship, but when we get to the Premier League next year as well.
You said when there, so you're obviously feeling very confident as a fan.
Well, I did that on an earlier interview and then said, oh, that's a Freudian slip. Actually, do you know what? It's not, because it is when, isn't it? Come on, let's be honest. It's a when, not an if.
Lovely, Dave. Thank you very much.